Today I will talk about 5 elements we must keep in mind while designing a garden. When we consciously design a garden, it becomes a joyful and well-managed area that is productive and efficient. The first step to achieving this goal is to pay attention to your needs. That leads to our first element: define the objective of your garden space. It is important to have a fair idea of what this garden space will be used for the next maybe 2 to 3 years. Ask yourself what all activities will happen in this place and then prioritize each activity. If it's going to be a vegetable garden, then you will focus on maximizing area for planting. If you wish to create a leisure garden, then creating shade and beauty will be your focus. But if you want to include a play area for kids, your plan will look into the needs and safety of children as well. Having a clear idea in the beginning is extremely important to focus your time, money and effort appropriately. Since we are talking of creating gardens, we must focus on plant requirements too. So the next element is sunlight. It's critical to know how long does sun shine on your property and its movement through the seasons. You will find that in summers the days are long and the sun shines very strong through the day until late evenings. It is particularly hot in late afternoons, especially on the south and west direction in the northern hemisphere, which is where India is. In winters you will find that the days are shorter and there is mild sunlight throughout the day. There will be days of frost and overcast sky which will make the day colder than usual. And if you're living in a city like Gurgaon, then polluted air and shadow from buildings around you will also hinder sunlight. All these things will have a direct impact on how well your plants will grow. The best method to track sun's movement is by taking photographs of your garden in the morning, afternoon and evening across seasons, if possible on the days of equinox and solstice. This will help you visualize the yearly movement of the sun on your property, and you will be able to allocate space for various plant species and structures that you might want to construct. The next element is water. Look over historical data for your region, state or town that you're living in to know which months you receive rainfall and when are the dry periods. When it rains, pay attention to how the water moves on your property. You will find it pooling in certain places and rushing down through some other areas. If the water is running too fast, it will take away soil and nutrients in form of erosion. So you will have to slow it down by appropriate planting and earthworks such as building swales and trenches. If the water is stagnating at one place, that means it's a low-lying area in that piece of land that you have. You might want to convert this low-lying area into a pond if that's in your plan, or you might want to plant varieties that tolerate water stagnation around its roots. You will also realize that stagnant water breeds diseases, it increases the population of snails and slugs, and it also makes the area inaccessible because of flooding. Such considerations are extremely important when you are designing a garden. In fact, a review of the water situation in your property may also help you deploy appropriate rainwater harvesting techniques. The moment we take all these observations and thoughts into consideration, we begin to develop strategies to mitigate problems that may come up in the future. The fourth element is wind. Research of windroses in your area will give you a clear idea of the direction and the strength of winds and the seasons in which they blow. Such information will help you prepare a design that involves adding windbreak to reduce the impact of gale force winds. Strong wind would also imply things flying past, a lot of dust and snapping of tree branches. If your region receives good amount of breeze, then perhaps growing a fragrant bush like jasmine that spreads the fragrance across the garden will be of value, because when the wind or the breeze will blow, it will carry the fragrance of the bush all across the garden. Such information is crucial when it comes to selection of plants and infrastructure required for your garden. With that, we come to the fifth element, identifying zones and creating access. This element is the culmination of the previous four elements coming together. When your garden objective and sunlight observation, shade, rainwater, and wind observations on your property are superimposed, you will be able to mark specific zones within the garden for all activities intended. Let me explain that in detail. Garden brings in a flow of people, from your mali to your family, friends and neighbors. It also brings in a flow of material resources like compost, bamboo, bricks, cement, wood, etc. So the access to garden and the area for every activity should be planned keeping this flow of people and resources in mind. The water and electricity connections will be planned according to your garden requirements too. Basically, you have to create a process of flow of your garden and interconnect all the zones to bring about the efficiency and ease in garden management. This video is just the tip of iceberg in designing a garden, a sneak peek. My aim was to introduce you to some key points one needs to consider while designing a space. In my next video, I will take you through an example design on the basis of these 5 elements. I hope this video was a helpful introduction. Do please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye.